is up? Yay! We getting it, boy.
What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay.
Your baller back again. Smells like football season.
Yo. Whoa.
There it is. There it is. Get in there. Yeah.
There it is. There it is. Get in there. Yeah. It's hilarious. What's up, my man? Eric, how you doing tonight? But a quick little recap of that, man. There it is. There it is. Because that was like his first touchdown. That's what it felt like. Like, there it is. And my daughter, she makes fun of me all the time now, bro. Anytime I say there it is, she looks at me, there it is, there it is. So I had to slip that one in there just to get a smile. How you doing, my man? Good to see you.
Hey, doing good, Celts. Excited to be here, ready to talk some ball. And hey, Trey Lance is your guy, man. And I love that video because you can like feel your exuberance and your excitement with that Lance touchdown in that Texans game, which was probably the best game he's played in his very tiny, limited sample size. So that was a great game to watch.
Exactly, and like I said, and even Trey Lance himself afterwards, like said, and other players on the team was like, that's what that moment was. Like, all right, he's got it. He got that like off of his, out of his system, off of his nerves, and that's exactly what I was talking about. It's like the whole crowd was quiet. I was like, there it is, there it is. Like, yeah, it's like, so I take my daughter to play basketball today, and she's real shy and real timid, not too much of a sports player, but she made a shot and I did the same thing. There it is, babe. And she looks at me, she starts mocking me. Get in there, yeah. So
Love it, man.
there's a little joke behind the there it is. I'm gonna go ahead and hop in some of these comments real quick. We got our man. Oh yeah, and just to let the viewers know, man, it's only one half of Straight Out of the Bay tonight. Our man Jay in the Bay and Amin got some things going on, but it is all good. We got Jay in the Bay right here saying, "What's good, gents?
What's up, Jay?
What up, man? Hey, you get better, bro. You get better. I know you're gonna come back stronger." We got Raphael 562 Niners in the house. What up, Celts Chronicles, Bay Area Baller, and everyone. And like always, you already know what it is. 562 with the what's good, Jay in the Bay, or forgive me, I meant to say like and subscribe, everybody. Yeah, do so. It's for free. It helps the algorithm. It gets eyes on us. And, who knows if that's a good thing or not, but I'd like to think it is. Good stuff, Raphael, for coming through. We got Bryant Culp in the house. What up, Rich and Eric? We got Roberto Davis. What up, Bryant, by the way? Hope all you guys are doing well. Fantastic. All that good stuff. You know what it is. Roberto Davis, what up, Rich and Eric? Watching the Kings try to clinch a playoff spot, light the beam.
Hey,
Hey,
it's been a while. It's been a while for the Kings to be back in the playoffs. So, as a NorCal guy, although I am a Warriors fan, it's not like I'm rooting against the Kings.
not at all.
It's that NorCal love.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I want the Kings to get in there. And actually, it's just a matchup I really want to see would be Kings Warriors somehow if that shakes its way out in the first round.
yeah. There's absolutely a little bit of love. Like it's Mike Brown is over there. Mike Brown over there.
It's true.
He
Yep.
he's got that team believing. He's got that team, kind of like we ain't taking no S. I don't know if you've seen some of their little things that they got going on up there in Sacramento, but hey, man, they will not be punked. I do know that. We got Roberto Davis, NorCal love. Hey, absolutely, man. It's nothing but love, even if it doesn't seem like it. We got our other We got our 25-cent piece. We got the 1/4 of
The
Straight Out of the
star,
Bay Crew, the
the star of
star.
the show. Yeah,
Man, he got the full head of hair, man. You know what I'm saying? He's got the do. It's a mean, the dream. It makes me think of Hakeem, Olajuwon with the little shimmy shake. Hope all is well, Amin. Just like Jay, we know you're going to come back stronger. Uh, yeah, good stuff for at least tapping in. We got Brian Culp. What up, Amin? All right, hey, so we're going to get into some of these topics. And just to let y'all know, we're going to be running a mock draft, something I've never done live. I don't know if Bay Area has, or I don't know if Eric has done it, but I do know that Eric considers himself to be somewhere along the lines, if not better than Mel freaking Kiper. So y'all
it's
better be.
true. This is true. I mean, I
So
tried to tell Mel Kiper. This was years ago, right? This was back when Blake Bortles, Derek Carr were coming into the draft, right? Twitter felt like it was still pretty, well, kind of fresh, but Mel Kiper kept talking up Blake Bortles, and I had to get on Twitter and hit him up. Mel, Derek Carr is better than Blake Bortles because he had Carr down in his rankings and Bortles at the top. And it's like, Mel Kiper, where were you at, dude? I was trying to tell you, Bortles been out the league for years now, and Derek Carr, well, he's not a star, but Derek Carr is a good quarterback. So I tried to tell Mel about that one. He didn't listen.
he's definitely a whole heck of a lot better, to say the least, than yeah, Blake freaking Bortles.
Yeah.
Hey man, I think Carr's gonna do well. He's a Christian man, and now he's a saint, so it seems very fitting. It seems fitting. He seems like he should mesh in well, right in with the Southern, Sunday dinner type of living. So uh, yeah, man. Hopefully, until they face the 49ers, I'll just say it like that. But man, we're going to get into some of these topics. Hey, I was going to just jump straight into some mock drafts, but hey, we got some news. Lynch had a press conference, and to be honest, hey, I'll just go ahead and start it off. Um, I don't think it should come as a surprise. I don't think when you hear majority of the team talking about he's the leader. We've heard Trent Williams, months ago talk about, hey, this kid, hey, he came in like, hey, he came in talking that S. He came in like, hey, let's go. Like, be quiet. He was not afraid to yoke up on any of the vets. And so to me, this shouldn't be a surprise. But during this time of the season, of course, if the GM is going to speak, people are going to listen, and they're going to create more than maybe what it is. But I think this is from me personally. I look at this like it's nothing new. But you know what, John Lynch, he basically said stuff like, Purdy is the leader. What I took away from it, he seemed excited and happy to talk about Brock Purdy, and he seemed down when he was talking about Trey Lance. He just had a little bit of life and light about himself talking about Purdy. And when I heard him talking about Trey, it made me feel like, oh man, it's the beginning of the end. That's just the feeling I got from it. Like, it's only a matter of time before, Trey is playing somewhere else. And that's just the feeling that I got, my man. And I'm one of the main Trey Lance guys.
You are. Yeah,
I
you were the first
wanted.
guy. You're the reason Trey Lance ended up being a 49er. I think you spoke it into existence because the lead up to that draft, you were telling everybody and anybody, hey, Lance is that dude. Niners are going to take Lance. And I remember that. So, yeah,
Hey,
Lance is your guy. And I watched the whole John Lynch press conference today. Obviously it's at the owners' meetings. There's a lot of media, a lot of coaches, GMs. There's a lot of good conversation being had there at this owners' meeting. And before the question of, when Brock's ready, is he your starting quarterback? John Lynch was talking about Brock before that question. And I think what he said before he answered that was even more telling, because I'm going to quote John Lynch. I had to write it down here. Again, talking about Purdy, Lynch said, "We're going to do what's right for Brock because that's what's right for our organization and be aggressive with what we do, but also be really smart. If Brock's not ready, we'll hold the fort down until he is. That's what he said. Like, you just want to hold the fort down until Brock gets back. Like, that's not how I would have worded it. I would have liked it, if you said, hey, one of these guys, if you didn't want to say Trey, then just say one of these guys is going to get a chance, if Brock's not ready, and maybe they can seize the moment and take over the starting quarterback position. But no, it was, we're going to hold the fort down until Brock Purdy's ready to go. I didn't quite like that. And then right after that is when he got the question, when Brock's ready, is he your starting quarterback? And Lynch said, I think Brock has earned the right. He's the leader in the clubhouse, is how he phrased it. So he's earned the right. I get it. Purdy was good. But this wasn't how I would have phrased it, kind of with the situation. And he kept also alluding, I don't know if you picked up on it, Kelts, but he kept alluding to this is also how Kyle sees it. And we're going to get a chance to hear Kyle Shanahan. Supposedly he's talking early tomorrow. So I'm sure the media is going to be asking Kyle Shanahan, if indeed he agrees with what Lynch was saying today. But, like you said, I'm not all that surprised. It feels like just the team, the locker room is ready to go the Purdy direction. And, it is what it is. I'm still optimistic. Trey gets on the field, because they're not going to rush Purdy back. If Trey gets on the field, he can seize the moment. And if he's playing that good, it's going to be difficult to take him off the field. If the Niners are 3-0, 4-0, and he's lighting it up, and now Brock's back, now it's a conversation. Like, that's a conversation I want to have.
Hey, it's kind of like if Trey Lance does as good as he could possibly do, it's probably going to be around the same level of what Brock did. So it's like that now you're really going, it just feels like I just wouldn't doubt it if Kyle, John Lynch, and a lot of the guys are just exhausted by it. It's like, how many years has this been, of just constant. I mean, to be honest, yes, I'm a Trey Lance guy, but just because I'm a Trey Lance guy doesn't mean that I'm not a Brock Purdy guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I love both young men. I think they're both phenomenal. If I strip away what I think each one's going to become, and I just look at both of those guys, I'm happy they're both 49ers. Hey, if one of them steps up to the occasion and takes us to the promised land, let's go get it. I'm not going to be I think the only thing I'll ever be frustrated about is like, damn, man, like, man, you should have just started him from the get-go to where at least you knew exactly who he was, what he was, and who he's gonna be. But hey, nothing is set in stone. He's a 49er. And when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers, there's kind of no telling what's going to freaking happen. I mean, they both got season ending injuries last year. It happened. Hopefully, one of these guys takes it, runs with it, stays healthy, gets us a dang Super Bowl along with the rest of the team. But I gotta imagine that they're kind of exhausted about the whole thing. It feels like they squeezed every drop that they can get out of the quarterback circus. You know what I'm saying? So I think, no matter who it is, I would lightweight be relieved if they just go one direction. Even if that meant a trade or whatever, at least that guy gets to, continue his career and level up, and vice versa. Both guys that they both seem like starting caliber guys to me. Hopefully, it pans out. Yeah, man, it's interesting, man. Do you think? Hey, let me ask you this: do you think there's any chance he gets drafted at draft time? Do you think there's any chance that Trey Lance gets drafted, or I mean, gets
Or
traded during the
traded, yeah.
draft? Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't. I don't think it's a possibility. I mean, it is a possibility, but I don't think it's going to happen, is what I meant to say. And it's because right now his stock is so low, Celts. Like, his stock's it's at like an all-time low. I think you could argue coming off an injury, there's still, some uncertainty with how he's going to perform. So the team trading for him is getting that unknown commodity. You spent 3 first-round picks to get him. I don't think you sell low at this point, especially, maybe after if he has a really good preseason. Like I know it's like, okay, it's preseason, but if he puts out some really good tape and Celts, let me know what you think. I'm thinking I want to see Lance play like half of these preseason games. The kid
Yeah,
needs reps. Like I want to see him out there and not running the ball like at all. Like unless he's scrambling on his own, like there should be
exactly.
zero design runs in preseason. Let's see what this kid can do with his arm, surveying the field. Let's see if he's going through his reads and making plays. I want to see it on the field. So if he has a good preseason, I honestly think that could boost his stock, and you would get more trade equity after him having a good preseason. So I wouldn't do it around draft time because there's going to be a dead cap hit either way. Uh, that being said, you don't do it now because the stock is low.
Real talk, real talk, real talk, man. I completely agree. Hey, man, we got a super chat up in here. I believe that's on your channel, my man. So bang, bang, bang. We got Roberto Davis with the 49 or with the $4.99
Woo!
super
Thank
chat.
you, Roberto.
Hey, baller keeps on balling, my man. It says Kyle runs a mediocrity, if that's how
Meritocracy. Yeah.
meritocracy. My bad.
Yeah, Roberto, yeah, he's going to make me whip out the thesaurus on this one. Whoever plays better starts. I like that. Whoever plays better starts. I support whoever is behind center week 1. LFG, Roberto, I'm right there with you. I think Celts is too. Whoever's playing the quarterback position, we're going to support. We just want to see really good quarterback play,
It's
right?
all
It's
about
like,
this man. It's all about this man right here, man. That is the ultimate gold digger. It's all about this man. It's about the logo. So real talk. I felt the same way, man. Is my thing is as long as we see efficient quarterback play, as long as we see our quarterback not trapped in a box, as long as we see our quarterback execute more than just in a box, where he can execute a sideline pass, where he can execute 30 yards down the field. And people could say what they want about Brock Purdy. People compare him to Jimmy Garoppolo. I seen him throwing further passes than Garoppolo on the money. I seen him escaping out of the pocket, how Jimmy Garoppolo could not do. I seen a lot of things about Brock Purdy that is not similar to Jimmy Garoppolo. I know it's easy after the season's done to just be like, oh, well, you guys fell in love with Jimmy after 5 games, and look how that panned out. Well, guess what? We don't have to give Brock Purdy 130 million. We don't have to give Brock Purdy 250 million. We got him on the cheap right now. And then the same goes for Trey Lance. We're in a perfect situation. We got 2 guys who are completely different, who could be phenomenal. There's no. I know it's easy to sit here and say, well, look at Brock's stature, look at his noodle arm, yada yada yada. But hey man, there's something called being a gamer and having heart. And that noodle arm, I've seen him make some passes that didn't resemble a noodle arm to me, my eyes, what I seen, and with his quick feet, quick decision making. So, and I could say a lot of great things about Trey Lance. He's explosive, and I'm not talking just about running, because I know people say, hey, he's a lot slower than I thought. But just his deep passes, his you know, you could just see the difference in how many games Purdy played compared to Trey Lance, and it was obvious. But there were some throws that Trey Lance made that I haven't seen no 49er quarterback make in a long time, and even better than Brock. So it's just apples and oranges. But whoever can, elevate us and be consistent and stay on the field and stay available and stay healthy, I'm rocking with them to the fullest, man.
well, I just want to put up points. Let's
Yeah.
put points up on the board because it feels like the last few years we've had this defense that is just perennially one of the top defenses in the league. Whereas the offense, it leaves you just wanting a little bit more, which is interesting because Kyle Shanahan, the offensive genius, is the coach. So absolutely, if you're putting points up on the board and you're making plays, I'm good with it. And the Niners are winning first and foremost.
Let's get it. We got Jaguar 56 with the $2 dono. If Purdy isn't 100%, this is Trey's chance to be QB1. Yeah, man. I think Trey Lance at this point, the way everybody feels about Brock Purdy in the 49ers organization, I think he would have to do some truly spectacular stuff. I mean,
You're
he
right.
would have it feels like his numbers would have to be a little bit better than Brock Purdy did all of last year. And man, I mean, Brock Purdy was what, 16 touchdowns, what, 2, 3 picks. I think I did the math, and if Brock Purdy were to have played a full season with the numbers that he had, he would have been around 4,000 yards. What was it? 39 touchdowns. Like,
Whoa.
yeah. If you accumulate what he did in that sample size, he would have been, So what I'm saying is Trey not only has to do really well for Trey, he's gonna have to just come out. I mean, lightning in a bottle, and put up. He has to do Brock Purdy type stuff, man. 2 touchdowns, no picks every game,
Yeah.
plus,
Yeah.
plus
Yeah.
get
Well, Jaguayo, what I'll add to it is the way John Lynch spoke today. I already said it. Jaguayo. John Lynch said, if Brock's not ready, we'll hold down the fort until he is. Like it sounds like they already have it written in Sharpie that
yeah.
Brock Purdy is the starting quarterback. That's just the vibe I'm getting. Um,
No,
so,
that's
like
correct.
Kel said, like Lance would have to do something sensational, in the off season, in the preseason, in the regular season to potentially leapfrog him. At least that's how it sounds.
Hey, man, it's gonna stay interesting. Stay tuned. 49ers quarterback controversy. Who would have thought 7 years in? It's as big as it is. But hey, we could talk about this all night long, but we're not gonna because we're gonna dive into some other things. I'm gonna check out maybe even some of these. Hey, I'll hop into the comments in a minute here, but we see Roberto Itchy. Wait, Itchy just stopped through, so I'm gonna hit him up. He says Purdy will need to take a break. Or hold on, let me slow down. Purdy will need to break his habits and roll right sometimes, or he will eventually get hurt. You
And
know,
it's
one
it's roll left too. Like he spins out. Well, he rolls out either way, but the one he really kept doing was when he was spinning and rolling left.
Hey, I will say this: when Purdy was rolling out, no matter which way it was, he wasn't getting hurt. The time he got hurt is when he stayed his butt in the pocket because a report had come out before the Eagles game that they want him to get north and south. They want him to stay in the pocket. And sure enough, he didn't dip up out of there because I bet money if he would have dipped, he would have seen Reddick coming. And I think he did it in the Tampa Bay Buccaneer game where when he seen that edge coming after him, he hesitated, waited, and then hurry up and dipped right before. You know what I'm saying?
Made a
So
miss.
so my take is it's almost the opposite, Itchy. It's almost like if you start to take someone who is good at going east and west and going to one side, maybe that's his way of utilizing an offensive line that wasn't the best at pass protection. Because even when he was making throwaways, you're living to fight another down, right? So I kind of look at it the opposite. Like maybe he gets hurt if he starts doing things that isn't like Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
The micromanagement of Kyle Shanahan could be what naturally takes you out of your football like glory. Like what's your best at? Purdy, he knows himself better than anybody.
That's just
And
those are his instincts. His instincts say break the pocket. His
yes,
instincts say escape and
and
then
I
play
seen
make.
And I've seen some of the best plays in NFL history made off of instincts, whether it's Marshawn Lynch, Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, or, I could go on about, Randall Cunningham or just quarterbacks that, did amazing things. Michael
How about the
Vick.
catch? The catch, Montana's rolling right.
broken play. There it is. You know what I'm saying? But we do hear you. We do hear you, Itchy. Of course, you still need to elevate your game because it could become predictable. So on the flip side, I see what you're saying at the same time to, add. But the one thing I didn't like about what Shanahan did before the NFC Championship game, you don't try to switch it up right before an NFC Championship game. You do that in the off season. You do that when things are calm, cool, and collected. You don't put no extra. I don't know. I just didn't like it. But
What did he switch up, Kelts?
no, he wanted him to stop
Oh, to
going
stay
east
in the
west.
pocket. Okay.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
it.
And sometimes that was his bread and butter when he was dipping. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. I know why he was doing it because in the NFL there are going to come times where you do need to step up in the pocket. You don't
Mhm.
want to just be a creature of your own habitat, or you don't want to be you don't want to always depend on your instinct because then it, like Itchy was saying, it can become predictable. So I get it on both sides, but I just feel like the timing of doing it in the NFC Championship game that kind of, I just feel like the timing was bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
There was.
go
Are
ahead.
we exiting the John Lynch press conference? Because I got one last thing that kind of caught my ear when I was listening to it.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, just touching up on another thing that caught my ear about the press conference today. He got a question: is Colton McKivitz the plan to replace Mike McGlinchey? And John Lynch addressed. He was very direct, and he said, "Colton's the guy right now. We like Colton." And then he went on to talk about how he filled in for Trent Williams and talked about how they brought in Pryor today, who, I think he's a backup, this offensive lineman the Niners just signed. But right now, Colton McKivitz appears to be the right tackle. They're confident in him. Now, whether that's a downgrade from Mike, or I'm hoping maybe it's a lateral move, I'd be shocked or I'd be pleasantly surprised if McKivitz turns out to be an upgrade. But that's the best case scenario. That being said, Kelts, the goal of the offseason, in my mind, is to get better wherever you can. And I'm just not sure going from Mike to Colton McKivitz, you're upgrading, you're getting better as what I want the 49ers goal of the offseason to be. So there's still time. There's still some players out there. Like I was looking at Cameron Fleming, who started the whole season for the Broncos at right tackle. He's still out there. So the Broncos brought in Mike. I would bring in their guy over here. I think he's going to be cheaper. I also think he's pretty solid. So there's still some names to be monitored in the free agent market. As far as we're going to be hitting on some draft stuff here, but at the end of the third, I don't know you can take a guy and kind of lock him in as that starting right tackle.
Nah, I feel everything that you're saying, man. And I'm one of those guys, I'm always rooting for the best. Bro, I would not be surprised if McKivitz winds up being an upgrade. It just wouldn't surprise me.
It's possible. It's
It
possible.
wouldn't, if you look at the numbers, you look at the eye test, and you just really watch it, it just wouldn't surprise me. It might shock a lot of others, but he's not he's not just no name guy off the street. The times where he did step up, like he did well. It's like there hasn't been anything to tell me, oh my God, this guy's there's nothing that McGlinchey did and McKivitz did to tell me that it would be a shocker if he played as well without getting ragdolled and stuff like that. Or it just wouldn't be a surprise. But one thing I do want to say about some of the additions with John Feliciano and who's the other guy? Pryor.
Pryor, yeah.
I don't know his first name, but I'm gonna learn it real soon here. You know what? Let me just do this so I can find it out. So we're gonna hop into some free agent additions and departures. We're gonna go see what's up with. All right, so we picked up John Feliciano, and we also wait. Hold on, let me get this banner out the way. Where are we at? And then we also picked up. I don't know how clear you guys can see it, but we picked up Feliciano, and we
Yeah.
also is Pryor on there yet? Where's he at? Where's he at?
I don't
Oh yeah, I see
yeah,
him.
right there, right after Trent.
Matt Pryor. So one thing that I did initially see when I started looking these guys up was they're 320-pound type dudes. So I love to see that. When I see
They're
some
big
big,
boys.
Yeah, when I see some big boys, I'm kind of like, okay, like I like that. I know Shanahan's little like MO has always been more athletic, uh, to where, and I remember saying a couple weeks ago, I was like, sometimes, man, who cares about all the shifts? Who cares about all the pulls? Sometimes you need to just forcefully just move forward, man, impose your will. I mean, you have CMC, you have all this talent, you got the Debos, you got the Kittles, the Ayukes. It should be, I feel like you can get kind of simple and dominate. Maybe that's just the feeling that I want to see and I have, but it feels like you got the star power, you got the talent, impose your will. Let's get some monsters on the field. So I love it. I love the John Feliciano. I love the Matt Pryor. I really don't know how. I know John Feliciano is pretty dang good. He feels like, from what I've heard, he's like a Daniel Brunskill that's a little bit bigger and maybe even better. You know, and then Matt Pryor, I don't know too much about him, but I do know that they both have started. They both have started more than 20 games apiece, I'm pretty sure. So I like that. Like, okay, these guys have been in the league. They haven't just been on the bench for a few years and they're going to come be a practice squad guy. These guys have both started um, numerous amounts of game. They're both 320 plus pounds. I like that. So, hey, beefing up the trenches is one thing I wanted. And then you just add, the golden grave digger, Hargrave, that's beefing up the other side of the line. So I'm loving it, man. I'm loving what the 49ers are doing. It feels like last year we were, we got Mooney Ward, Ray McLeod, Odom, special teams and Oren Burks. And this year we're beefing those trenches back up. So that's exactly what I wanted to have happen come into the offseason. I know you look at John Feliciano and Matt Pryor, and it's not like
It ain't
big, huge.
sexy.
Yeah, it's not sexy names. It's not, but do the 49ers really have that kind of money to just go swoop up on a couple of really, the top two offensive line guys?
No, they don't.
They don't. So
No, they don't.
for the ability of what they're able to do, I think they've done a phenomenal job. And I just wanted to ask your question before we do get into, we're going to take a look at this, the offensive side as we got right now. And then we're going to take a look at the defensive side. If you were to take, maybe two positions out of this whole picture we have right here, what would be the two spots where you say, hey, we might need a little bit more depth here
Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
little bit more depth there?
Yeah. Well, the first one that really, there's two that jump out at me. Okay. And I'm going to go with right tackle. Okay. We were just talking about it. Like, yeah, Colton, I know John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, they seem to be high on Colton McKivitz, but I'm not quite as sold as those two. So I'm looking at right tackle as a need. And then the other one, Kelts, is tight end. Like, George Kittle, he's a beast, right? He's still really good after the catch. He's still a really good blocker. But I thought what we got from, Ross Dwelly and Croft, I was disappointed from what we got in totality throughout the season. So I want to upgrade that tight end 2 position. And so far, the Niners have not signed anyone. They haven't signed anyone. They brought back Ross Dwelly. Charlie Warner's still there. So I'm looking at the tight end market, trying to figure out, okay, are the Niners going to bring in a free agent? The more time that goes on, I'm thinking it's going to be through the draft. But offensively, tight end and tackle, probably the 2 positions where the Niners need to add.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Those are just the 2 glaring spots. If I did just, I'm going to get into these comments in a second here too, guys. So don't think, I forgot you guys. Yeah, but let me get back into it. Because if I did pick something opposite of you, just for the sake of doing it, but I do agree with the right tackle. Because I'm kind of looking at it like, all right, if McKivitz goes down, could we really trust Jalen Moore? If that's the way my brain is working on this. Or Debo Samuel. Debo goes down. well, I guess Ray could kind of fit in there. So I'm always looking at the guys behind, and
Yeah.
um
I feel like they're good at wide receiver. I feel like they're good at
no,
wide
yeah,
receiver.
yeah.
The guard spot with Banks and Burford, and then you bring in a Feliciano and
If I
Jason Poe's kind of. And so I feel okay about the guard spot. Go ahead, Kelts.
this might not necessarily be like a glaring hole, but looking at this page, there's one thing that I don't see that we could have. And that brings me right back to the thing I've been kind of pounding the table on lightweight for the past month or so is that flat out burner, that flat out speed running back. And I know I kind of almost want to believe that Christian McCaffrey is that. Like he does have that top end speed, but I don't know. I just feel like there needs to be. I don't know, man. I just love speed,
You want
and
a home run hitter.
I want a home. When that hole opens, I don't want to see. Oh my God, he just barely got took down 5 yards short. Oh man, he just wasn't able to just take it complete. I see but I will say that Christian McCaffrey did do it versus Tampa Bay, where he gave the little stiff arm and he was able to catapult into. He finally took it all the way. But yeah, man, I just want that speed. I want that speed at running back. We have Danny Gray, so who knows if we're going to see him on the field. I'd like to think we will. Ray, he's got a little bit of burst. Hey, Ayuk, man. Hey, let's get Ayuk the ball more. But as far as looking at this whole page, I want that Raheem Mostert, Matt Breida, freaking speed back at the running back position. That's just me. I love it. So, yeah, man. So, but I agree with you on the right tackle and the tight end for sure. I'm going to get into a couple of these comments once I find my buttons to take this off. Let's get into a couple of these comments real quick. We got the Camper Report. If you guys haven't already, go check out the Camper Report. He runs a channel. He does a phenomenal job. He is a young man, so that's always inspiring to see young dudes do stuff like that. He says, "I haven't seen you much anymore streaming, Kelts. Hope all is well. Everything is fantastic. Everything is great, grand, wonderful.
What's up, Ben?
What up, Big Ben?" Yeah, man, everything is good, man. It's just a slow time of the year. I might start ramping it up though, man. I keep on getting the itch, man. So I'm gonna have to start ramping things up, whether there's stuff to talk about or not. Man, the Giants are gonna start, the Warriors are entering playoff mode. So I might just start going buck wild on all Bay Area sports because I freaking love it, man. I do. Even my Giants, even if there's nothing to be too excited about, I could talk baseball. I'm surprised, man. I've calmed down on a lot of other sports as well, man. I was that kid that used to watch NASCAR, tennis, golf. It didn't matter. Like, bro,
Absolutely,
I'd
absolutely.
go.
Hey, sometimes you get home and then there's a big tennis match on, and they're playing in Australia or whatever. It's 2 a.m. and you tune into some big time tennis. I'm with you.
At competition, man. When you see people competing, they could be throwing darts. And hey, I do it. Me and my kids, man, we'll be throwing stuff into the garbage can or whatever it is. We're always competing and having a good time. So, hey, man, that's the nature of it. We got David McNiner coming through talking about trade up. 11 rookies ain't making this team. Hey, if we could go up and snatch ourselves up a right tackle of the future, by all means, get it done. Get it done. Get it done.
And here's what I'm thinking, Kelps, because David's right. 11 rookies aren't making this team, but I want the three swings at the end of the third. That's my thing. I would rather have the three swings at the end of the third than package all of those up. And you're probably getting like maybe to the end of the second round, right? So you're getting one swing in the second as opposed to three at the end of. Give me the three swings at the end of the third. But those later picks, package those, and you're not going very far when you're packaging 5, 6, and 7s. But you can move up a little bit and really target a guy that you really want to get. That's how I'd approach it.
Yeah, real talk. We got now absolutely though, man. And we hit and we typically hit on our thirds and stuff like that. Yeah, baller sees you, my man. We got Roberto Davis. Everyone like and subscribe to both these gents. Quality offseason Niner content. Well appreciated, Roberto. Real talk, man. Always love the kind words. What else we got up in here? Oh yeah, I see it. The San Francisco Panthers need that 23-mile-per-hour speed. What up, baby? How you doing? My daughter's over here making her appearance.
My short hair.
This is my little miracle baby right here. This is my little Michaela Faith. So she's coming to say what's up because she's a boss like that, man. She's been waiting to make an appearance, and so good job, babe. she been contemplating that for months. I love you, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, hold on. Y'all ain't the champs no more.
What?
Hey,
What?
that's KC now, Rudy. Hey, y'all, you can't hold on to that one no more, man. You can't. You got to let that go.
I have a feeling they're going to be holding on to that one for a while, Celts, because they ain't going to have no championship contention here for quite some time. So go ahead. You know what? Let them hold on to it. You're not the champs anymore, but clutch on to that championship because it's going to be a while until you guys are even relevant again.
Man, my daughter just barely even heard me say that. Now she's starting to sing "Let It Go" back there. Like, yep. So, hey, even my daughter knows, man. Hey, you could take advice from Elsa, Anna, Frozen, whatever it is, man. You know, there's a great song called "Let It Go," and it's beautiful, man. But good stuff for coming through, Rudy. We know that you work hard. We know you work hard. You throw that. You enjoy this. You enjoy this, whether it's the trolling or content creating. So props to you, man. Real talk, man. Hope all is well. We got No Border Sports. We got Ryan up in the house. Says, what up, everyone? He also says, what's up, Rudy? I see some other people talking about we need that Mostert speed. Let's get it. Let's go. I need that Red Warriors hat. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, man, you go hit up the right by you, Bay Area, right by you, Eric. I believe you hit up the Concord. You hit up that Concord Mall, man, and they got it up in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That hat is dope. I told you before I got that hat.
Yeah. Hey, I'm pretty sure, was it lit? I don't think it was lids. They got like two good spots in there, but it's the one that wasn't lids, whichever one that is.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's that because I haven't seen it online. I didn't see it online. I rarely go to the mall, but when I seen it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm swooping that one for sure. Thank you, Chris Hansen. You go ahead and just you keep the Predators locked down, man.
Yeah, do your thing, Chris. Keep cooking.
Keep cooking. Yeah, real talk. Where we at? Oh man, we got J.R. Meadows in the house. You know what it is with the footballs. I almost grabbed my football, but it's a little too far from me. But what up, JR? Hope all is well. Where we at? Where we at in these comments? We see some clapping hands. We got Roberto Davis saying, what up to my daughter? That's what's up. What's up? Chris Hansen would come through right when my daughter came through, huh? See, he's keeping it locked in. Like, hey, he's keeping it locked down. I like that. We got John in the house. Boss dipped in sauce tycoon.
Tycoon.
I'm a boss. I can't even go there, man. I can't go. Hey,
I know. I put on some Bay Area slaps the other day coming home from work. I got like a half-hour commute, so it's like you got to switch up your playlist, right? Otherwise, it gets kind of boring. It's kind of monotonous. So I just threw on some Bay Area slaps, some of that Andre, some of that Mac, some of that 40, and I was just vibing. Like it made the commute so much smoother.
What's one I used to love? The two Andres, Nicotina and Mac Dre. They put a couple of stuff together. I know you're probably knowing. Oh yeah. Andre and Andre, bro. They put some good ones together. Real talk. Yeah, you know what it is, my 707 brother, John in the house. We got RM in the house. Here, I'll do it for Jay in the Bay too. What's good? I finally I think I got it locked in, bro. I think I think I got a little bit better.
Sorry, bro. You're getting better. You're getting better. But there's only one J though. There's only one J.
Yeah. It's all love, man. It's all love. Excuse me. All right, greatest song ever featuring Yuck. Welcome to the Bay.
Yeah, Yuck Mouth. I definitely know some Yuck Mouth slaps.
Of course, I got 5 on it, but Godzilla was pretty good, that whole CD, but there's a lot of underrated yuck that I really
Yeah, with
used to
some of these
like.
songs, it's like you know it when you hear it, and then you start
Yeah.
vibing. Like the name of the song might escape me, but
Mhm.
when it comes on, you're vibing.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, "Welcome to the Bay" was always one I really liked. I think it's got Mac Mall, Mac Dre, Yuck Mouth, and a few other guys, but anyways.
Yeah.
Alright, man, we're getting off track. Andre and Andre, we see all the Bay Area slappers in the house. Chris Hansen, we're about to get back on track like Chris Farley in a motivational speech. Saturday Night Live status, where we at? Alright, man, hey, so let's do this mock draft. You ready? Are you
Yeah.
are you ready
Yeah.
for it?
I've been preparing for this moment all my life, Coach.
Hey man, I don't think I've ever even shared a screen before, so bear with me, everybody. We're gonna try to make this work. We're gonna try to do it smooth. We're gonna, hey, look, I
Just so
already,
you know, Kelch, the three positions that I am an expert at, because I tend to when I'm doing my prospect evaluations, it's like you're I do a few positions, but I hit them hard because I don't have time to do every. It's like you do every position and you kind of half-ass it, right? But no, I'm
yeah,
going to
yeah.
dive into a few and go 25 guys deep, so I know that position like the back of my hand. So just so you know, tight end, I got tight ends on lock, and then defensive line, whether it's D tackles, D ends. So those are three positions that I feel very astute about with in terms of my draft prospect analysis.
All right, all right. Hey, I hear you, man. I hear you. I don't know exactly to the viewership. I don't know exactly how this is going to go. Not exactly planned out, but we're going to try to do this thing together as a team. If there is time, we might do two mock drafts, depending on how our pace is. I assume it's going to be kind of quick, to be honest. I don't think we're going to sit here and try to drag it out. But hey, I did want you guys to see these advanced settings. With these advanced settings, these are not the normal settings. I made them all even because I believe PFF has it. I almost want to show you guys if there's a way to redo it. Let me show you guys just for the sake. Just for the sake of it, let me come back in here. And I want you guys to see this is how PFF has it locked in with the public versus PFF board, care for care for positional value, draft for needs, which is extremely high. I don't think we're going to see teams just always drafting for needs like that. Maybe that's the way they value it. And I think there are, me personally, I think there's a lot of randomness that happens in the draft, and coincidentally, they have that the lowest. So just to see what happens, just to make this draft a little bit different than what we would normally see, I'm gonna hit all these things up equally, man, because I think this is more realistic. I think, realistically, there's going to be things that's going to happen in a real draft, and that will probably never happen in the PFF. So this is the way I'm choosing to roll with it on this specific one. I did test it one time and I did get different results, which kind of frustrated me, but it made me reevaluate how I was doing things. So hold on, give me one more second. I'm going to take this comment down that way. Still trying to figure out how to click all these buttons. Hold on. There we go. Where are the comments at? Sorry, RM, but I'm about to take you down real quick so we can get this draft rolling and y'all can witness how Eric and Celts Chronicle are about to turn the 49ers into Super Bowl champions with this freaking
Yeah,
draft. That's what we're doing.
absolutely,
That's what we're
absolutely.
that's what we're doing up over here. We're building champions.
I mean, John Lynch better be taking notes. John, have a
Yeah.
seat. Watch the experts do their thing. You might learn something. Okay, no Solomon Thomas here.
Yeah, now hey, go hard or go home. Lynch, this is how we do. All right, we're starting. It's the draft. It is freaking April 27th. We just fast forwarded in time. They're making the picks like freaking super turbo sonic speed. You just see it clicking on down all the way to 99. And
There
this
it
is
is.
where we're at. This is where we are at. Here is the
Mm.
board. We obviously know we ain't taking no quarterback. We got
No.
Garrett Williams. We'll probably, hopefully, ain't going to be taking no dang running back. But at some point, I would not be upset to see a running back. So your two biggest needs, would that be something you would maybe consider doing, drafting a tackle or a tight end right off the bat? Or are there guys that you might like later on?
You know, the tight end, really, I'm eyeing a guy with that last pick of the third round. So, because
Okay.
it's a little bit of a reach, but not to me. And when I say it's a little bit of a reach, that's in terms of PFF's grading process. But so I got a tight end, but we'll save that for a couple picks if you're all right with that. Here,
Yeah.
yeah, here I'm looking, ideally I like to go with best player available, right? But when you're looking
Same.
at maybe some potential needs, right? If a safety was popping out at me, I would consider a safety. Corners, another position. You can never have enough cornerbacks. And then offensive line, probably specifically tackle. That's probably at top of the need list. And then also D line. So it's like D line, O line, secondary. Those seem to be kind of where I would probably focus if I were the Niners in these three third round picks. How do you feel about that? Like O line, D line, and secondary, whether it's corner, safety. Like, do you think those are the
Yeah.
three kind of at the top?
I absolutely love it because it's like, and then because I think, though it's just harder to get those guys those often in the trenches, right? And so I love the trenches. And then on top of it, I think the 49ers roster is built to just take the best players. So, I
Yeah.
don't want to, I don't feel like, we don't have to go reaching, especially, you could look at from 99 to 164. That's not, those are, you're going to be able to get position of need plus best player, like I like to believe. So if you were going to make your first pick, is there anyone that jumped out to you in these first like 10 players right here? We're like,
Can
okay,
we go
he's,
to edge? Can we go to edge or D line? Is there a D line
yeah,
way to
yeah,
sort it? Okay, yeah, that's edge. Yeah. What about D line? Because actually, I saw a name that I like. So, and I'm
okay,
gonna pull up my notes on him. He's more of a tackle. He's kind of a hybrid. And it's right there, Kobe Turner. I like Kobe
okay,
Turner. I got a star by his name here. I got my notes right here on my draft process. I got a star by Kobe Turner. This is what I wrote down, Kelts. First thing he's a game wrecker. Okay, this dude's punching balls out. He's a smaller guy in terms of size, like for a defensive tackle position, not this big like Javon Kinlaw hulking guy. He's 6'3",
yeah,
290. So he's not insanely huge for a D tackle, but he's a game wrecker. He's penetrating. He's smart. For whatever I saw on film, it just seemed like this guy is a smart football player. And I projected him as like a third or fourth round pick. That's just when I saw the film, I was like, okay, third, fourth round sounds about right. So if you're asking me, if John's calling me, hey, right now, who do you like? We're looking at a D line guy. I'm saying, hey, Kobe Turner out of Wake Forest. I like this guy.
let's do it, man. You sold me on it. And hey, we don't have a lot of guys, behind Hargrave. It's Hargrave. We
No.
we truly don't know
And
how
it's like he
Kalia.
could play a little bit of end too. Like, kind of like the Omenahu role where he's
Yeah, yeah.
outside maybe on like base downs, like rushing downs, and then he kicks inside more on passing downs. That's something that Kobe Turner it's well within his scheme. Isaiah
Yeah.
McGuire, I checked him out too. I got some notes on Isaiah.
Hey, I do like the fact of having a shorter
Yeah.
dude. When I just think about shorter guys, I mean not the shortest guys, but I don't like
Leverage.
I don't like the McGlitchies and the Kinlaws. Yeah, I want that bowling ball leverage,
Yeah.
quick, short, stout. They will not get pushed around, will not be levitating horizontally in midair, that won't be getting pushed back. Like so everything you were saying about the other dude, because soon as I see McGuire, I seen 268. And I was like, hey man, if he's not an elite pass rusher
Yeah.
at that weight, I don't want him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I see the 7 stacks. I haven't done enough research on him to truly know, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a look at Henry over here.
I wasn't
He,
feeling Henry. I'm not
no,
feeling Henry.
and
No.
when I see 6'4", 250, I'm like, hey, we already got a Drake Jackson, so I'm gonna go ahead and take your
Yeah.
word for it. We're gonna draft Turner. That is who you wanted, right?
Yep. Yep. That's a great
All
pick.
right,
It's a
all
great
right,
pick. That's
man.
what I wanted right there.
So we just swooped up Turner. And so I think the other, you know what? It's looking like to me that we're going to be able to get our tackle later. I don't know how you feel about that. I might, or our offensive lineman later. I think it might be a good idea to, um, man, with these guys, I'm not too familiar with a lot of these guys. I know Shoemaker. Um, I believe some of these running backs, but I don't want to go this early on running backs.
No,
It's
I'm with
probably
you
gonna
there.
It might have to be a corner or a safety. I
I
did
mean,
actually
Garrett Williams is just staring us in the face. He looks to
yeah,
be,
he is.
per PFF, kind of the top guy. I don't know if he's more of a zone guy or a man corner. It feels like the Niners kind of philosophically shift more towards zone. But, hey, with this new defensive coordinator, we don't know stylistically. Well, we kind of do. He's also been a predominantly zone defensive coordinator. But, let's see. What does it say about this kid? Okay.
Yeah, two interceptions last year,
Yeah.
pass rating 84, I'm always looking at missed tackles, but I think they do that maybe even more for safeties and stuff like that. He
Mhm.
was playing primarily corner, throughout his whole he played a little bit of box. What else we got up in here? Let's go see what they say about him. 5'10". Man, so as soon as I see 5'10", I think about we already got a Lenore. We already
Well, he's
got a
coming off an ACL, is what
we
it
got a
says
we
here.
got a Womack. We got Womack, shorter dude. We got a Lenore, shorter dude. Like, to be honest, I would want a little bit bigger of a dude because we do have those two smaller dudes. And you see what he says coming off the I immediately we've always taken those kind of guys. And I just want to stay away from them nowadays,
Yeah.
man. It's
Yeah.
just
I feel you. I feel you.
it almost makes me want to take another edge, but
What about a
hey,
safety? Let's check out safety because we
yes,
know they brought back Tayshawn Gibson. Hufanga's locked in. Like Hufanga's that guy of the future. But you need two safeties, and Gibson's up there. That's a position with one of these third round picks I think they could be looking at.
absolutely, absolutely. And hey, let's just go ahead and read first on it. 14 or where was it at? 9 tackles missed isn't bad from other guys I've seen. Okay, hey, here's a big dude, huh? I kind of like that. I kind of like a taller because it doesn't feel but outside of Mooney Ward, we don't have a lot of it doesn't feel like we got a lot of length. Let's see what it says. Where he wins, tackle radius. Skinner is that's a good name for a safety too. Skinner, huh? If I'm reading that right. Yeah, Skinner is able to make a ton of plays around the line of scrimmage because of his wingspan. It seems like they love wingspan, explosiveness, and mentality. His role, the slot. And who do we have? We have basically Oliver and
Oliver's probably, and I've always felt
Hartfeld.
like Demo. I've always thought Diamador Lenore kind of profiles as a slot guy, but he hasn't got a lot of game reps. He's practiced there, but I think, Oliver and then Demo, that would be my bet for who's going to get slot duties.
So they're saying he's too skinny. And that's something that you could definitely grow upon when you're 21 years old. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna beef up. So I mean, I'm not mad at what I'm seeing so far. Let's go. I've heard a little bit about Hickman. I have heard about Hickman. I'm looking at those missed tackles, only 11. That's one of the numbers I like to look at the most. He was in the box, deep slot. Looking at some of his numbers. I always like to read how many interceptions. I don't
Yeah.
think he had any. Did he get any picks? I don't know where they would. I don't see any on here about that, but I'm going to go ahead and. Oh, they don't even have nothing on him. I've heard a little bit about Hickman. Do you know anything about Hickman?
No, I don't. I don't.
Hey, see, that's what happens,
Although
you know,
he had
because
really good grades. That was the thing. His grades were really good per PFF on Hickman.
and here is I'm not gonna say his first name. Here is Brown out of Penn State. Another box guy mentality. Brown plays an exciting brand of football. That is for sure. What else is for sure is that he wants to get involved and will do whatever it takes to make it happen. Holy crap. Yeah, he sounds like a kneecap kind of guy. He sounds like a
He's
damn.
a redshirt senior, so that means he's been around for a while. They don't even know how old he is. This guy might be really old. He might be 50 years old. No, I'm just joking. They don't have an age for him, but he's a redshirt senior, so he's been around and he's played a lot of ball.
Hey,
So that's yeah.
we're gonna speed this thing up because we're an hour in, and I know me and Baller could start breaking and learning these guys forever. We're gonna go ahead and take a safety, man. We're gonna go ahead and take Skinner.
Yeah, it takes Skinner.
Hey, because if Gibson goes down, if Hufunga goes down, who do we got? Who we gonna try to slide in there? I'm trying to
Yeah,
think.
they brought in a guy from the Panthers. I'm blanking on his name, but they brought in a safety from the Panthers. Tarvarius Moore signed elsewhere, so he's gone. So safety, they're going to draft a safety in this draft. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and snatch him up. Let's just do it now.
Yeah.
Let's get Skinner, man. That makes me think. I don't know. It just feels like a good name. Uh,
I can tell
that's
you
how
who I
we're
want here. I can tell you who I want here, Celts, and you could
okay.
overrule me if
Go
he
for it.
doesn't suit your decision, your thought process. But I'm looking at tight end, right? It's a bit of a luxury pick when you're talking about tight end too. But Celts, I watched a lot of tape on all these tight ends, and
Hmm.
when I watched Zach Kuntz, he just popped off the screen. Okay, the thing is, he ran the 4.55 at the combine, which is a blazing speed for tight ends. So that could kind of shoot him up the draft board. There might be a team that is really intrigued by him. He was banged up last year, only played like 4 or 5 games. But the year before that, he was extremely productive, caught like 70 something balls. So he's had the production. And what I really like about him, Celts, is that he also gets respectable run blocking grades. Okay. Some of these tight ends, like Schoonmaker, the guy above him, Schoonmaker is intriguing. He also ran really well at the combine, but Schoonmaker doesn't block. If you pull up his
Okay.
blocking grade, it ain't good. And I also look at that. What is it? A
55.7.
55, right? Whereas, Kuntz is closer to 70 with his blocking grade. So I think Kuntz is
Let's
giving
see.
you, yeah. So he's at 67 and a half. So he's roughly 10 points higher than Schoonmaker. And I think Kuntz is also a better receiver. So those are the reasons why I'm looking at Zach Kuntz. And I know me and you also, we like Josh Wiley. We've talked about that. I also like Josh Wiley out of Cincinnati. Desmond Ritter, who's the quarterback for the Falcons now, was throwing this guy tons of balls. Like that was Desmond Ritter's go-to guy at Cincinnati was Josh Wiley. Extremely productive career. I like Wiley, and I think he's also a good pick, but I think Zach Kuntz just has a little bit of a higher upside.
So hey, we got to take Kuntz. That's just what we got to do, even if it seems like a little bit of a reach. And
It
you
might
know
be a little
what?
bit of a reach, but I think this dude's a baller. He's
Hey,
baller
man,
approved.
6'7", that would give us a legit threat, of little lobs, when you get into that 10-yard range of the red zone, and
Yeah.
every once in a while you might, want to just throw a little lob right over the middle, right by the freaking goal post. You know how you
Yeah. Little
see a
high
lot
point.
of guys.
Little high point.
Yeah, man. Let's get it. A little high point, and his name is similar to Celts in a way. If you just you just switch that U and that N and put an EL right there, man. So who knows? But we're gonna take Kuntz. I'm gonna trust Baller. I'm gonna trust Eric on it. So far, I believe we took the edge, we took the safety, we took the tight end. So we
Yeah.
took edge, safety, and tight end. And here we are, man. We are at pick 155.
Mhm.
We are at 155, and I'm kind of thinking about needs. Is that would this be a good place to maybe take a tackle or take
Definitely, yeah,
off
pull it up. Definitely pull it up and see if anyone kind of pops, excuse me, kind of pops
one
out at us.
171? None of these names are even familiar to me right at the
Mhm.
moment. Maybe here I want to look at interior just real quick, just to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
I've
one
heard I've
name.
heard about Scruggs. Yeah,
Same.
yeah.
And Mafi. I have, and I believe Andrews as well. I've heard of those guys and Stormberg. I think there was one time where I was looking up a lot of centers because a lot of these names are looking a little more familiar. I see the 142 right there. So maybe he's slipping a little bit on the way it's set up just because, guard isn't the most sexy pick. I'm going to go ahead and check him out. Me personally, man, I like Big Daddies. I like and there he is.
It's a
Man,
big
I don't
boy.
know. The height. It's the height, man. Hey, but with 325. All right. So I'm looking at I don't want to mess his last name up. Could you read that last name? Zavilla?
Zavala.
Zavala. I like that. I like that. So we got
Yeah.
Zavala. He's a big daddy. He's even bigger, but man, I don't know. McGlitchy has turned me away from anyone 6'6" and taller. So we got Feliciano and we also have Brendel. So this who knows if they're thinking about, and then we also have Poe and Sakil who could be looked at as centers. But I do like the size. That right there just screams out Jason Poe to me. So something's almost telling me to stay away from the interior. I'm gonna just go back. I'll go ahead. I'm gonna just go
This
with
is your pick. This is your pick right here,
all
Kels.
right, all right.
Whoever you're eyeing right here.
I don't know why I'm kind of stuck now. Hold on. How do I go back to there we go. All right, this is my pick. Oh, there he is too. There is it. So we're at 155, right?
Yeah.
We got my guy staring me in my face. I don't know if you see him or not, but I gotta lace you guys up because this is my guy. This is my freaking guy. I believe he has four. I don't want to mess up. I believe he has 4.3 speed. I believe he has 4.3 freaking speed. And this is Keaton Mitchell. This is that Matt Breida type dude I was talking about. This is that Raheem Mostert. And hey, man, he's gonna put on another 10 pounds somewhat. And I like the build. I like the 5'8", 180. Where he wins the shimmy, Mitchell shimmy shake move in one-on-one situations has taken lives. Man, I almost want to read that again, bro.
who
He,
who wrote that? Yeah, that's a
bro,
good freaking prospect
hey,
right article right there.
go watch the tape. Go watch it, man, because there are two guys, Akane from Texas A&M and Keaton freaking Mitchell, who are home run hitters. And this is my dude. He's one of the draft's most difficult players to pin down in space. Real talk. They ain't lying. Go watch the tape.
Hey, what's his role? They say
What's
it's a
his role?
gadget. Kyle
And
Shanahan freaking loves gadget guys.
what if McCaffrey goes down? It's a big what if, but if McCaffrey goes down, Elijah Mitchell has already had trouble. Yes, we could depend on Jordan Mason. Phenomenal. TDP, he could emerge.
Hey, but
Yes, he can.
neither one of those guys are home run hitters.
Neither one of those guys exactly, bro. So, hey, I encourage you guys to go check out Keaton Mitchell because I could just sit here and talk up on him. I'm drafting him. I'm just glad he's still there. I
Yeah.
know we have been getting running backs, this, that, and the other, but look, we don't have a whole bunch of holes. We just took a defensive end. We just took a tight end and a safety. And so now we got the blazing speed. I'm not mad at it. I'm going to
Yeah.
go ahead and let you take this one off, baller.
Yeah, I want to see tackle. I feel like I want to
Okay.
add. I want to at least scope it out and do some due diligence, and see if what tackles are out there. Luke Haggard. Let's click on Haggard.
Yeah, we got
Let's click
back-to-back
on him.
ones. We
Let's
got
click on.
back to back ones coming up. So he was left. So he played literally every snap left tackle.
Yeah, he's a no-go. I don't like his run blocking grade, so let's move off of Haggard.
All right.
Let's be real.
Hey,
Shanahan loves run blockers, so if this guy is not good in the run game, and that's in college at Indiana, then
real talk.
you want a guy at least probably with a 75 run blocking grade here.
And at the same time, I immediately see, 6'7" and 305, and that turned me off. It's man, I got a little PTSD from anybody who has a similar build as Mike McGlinchey, man.
Yeah,
I
you
know
do.
he was a phenomenal 49er.
Let's
But,
check out Connor Galvin, right below Haggard. Let's see what this dude's rocking with.
Uh-oh. Let's see. Where's the run pass? Okay, true
So
pass.
he's also playing left tackle, but at this age, you feel like you can kind of mold them, right? It's not like you got to be pigeonholed into one spot. In fact, a lot of times, collegiate tackles who get drafted, they all play tackle, just shift into play guard, So it's just how it profiles. And I
All
know
right, so
he doesn't have that. Yeah, he doesn't have that size, or you don't
yeah.
like the height on him as well.
Hey, but that doesn't mean you know what? I need to get that out my heart
Yeah,
right
every
now.
player's different. Every player's
I need
different.
exactly. I need to get that out right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and just look at here. Let's do it like this. So
Yeah.
189, we're at 164. You know what? Who even cares about that? We'll take a look at one or two more down this line since that's the area you're like, no, it's time. We need a young guy.
We got to pivot though. Nothing's really kind of scratching my itch here, Celts. So let's move off of tackle. Why don't we go back to D line because that's really kind of my expertise.
Or do you want to look? Okay. Or do you want to
No,
look at
let's go.
interior
Let's go. No, let's go D line. Let's go D line because
edge?
actually I
Or
think.
did we
Let's
take an
start
edge
out.
guy? We took an edge, but not a defensive end.
The guy we took, Kobe Turner, in the first round is more of a D tackle. So yeah, why don't
Okay.
we go edge?
Okay.
Let's see who's popping out here at edge. Okay.
Yeah, the names are a little bit different, with
The names are a little different now.
with switching up the settings in the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, shoot, we just missed out on one of my crushes, Zach Harrison from Ohio State, but that's okay. You know what, Jose Ramirez, Kruger's talked to me about this guy, so I'm gonna take Kruger's advice. He's next on my list. I haven't watched his tape yet, so, but with Kruger talking him up in a 90.5 pass rush grade, this is the guy I'm looking at here, Celts, Jose.
Same here. Like I'm looking at some of this stuff and I'm like, okay. And then I'm also looking, okay, like, he looks like he's been healthy.
10 sacks, and he did it back-to-back years.
Yes, I like that. Consistency, health.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at his size. Hey, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at having.
I mean, that's a pass rusher's size right there.
Yeah,
that's
man.
not a guy who's going to be anchoring down against the run. But I feel like the Niners still got to figure out like who's going to be opposite Bosa. Like, is Drake Jackson going to be that guy? Celts, where I'm at with Drake, I want Drake Jackson to be the guy who, like, in training camp, there's always that one player who the media is like, hey, this guy changed his body. He's looking yoked up. This dude put in work in the offseason. I hope they're talking about Drake Jackson in that capacity. Either way, we got to add. So Jose Ramirez, I'm down with Jose if you are, although I know you've been eyeing Zavala, so I'll be good with either pick between those two.
Yeah, it's time to get our big daddy, man. We need another big daddy. It feels like, we look at Pryor, we look at Feliciano, we look at Aaron Banks, Spencer Burford. It feels like we're bringing the big bodies, we're bringing the push, we're imposing the will, and we're just going to add on to it, man. That's just the way I'm feeling. I don't think anybody could get mad on imposing will in football. You know what I'm saying? So we got our guard, we got our it feels like all the positions. God, and there's Josh Wiley staring me in the face. We took
Dude,
Cooks,
that would be
right?
a freaking steal right now. Are you kidding me?
I
What
almost
round is
don't.
this? Is what, the fifth or sixth round? I mean, come on.
We're
Round 6 at the top. Round 6, pick 39. Dude, Josh Wiley's there in round. That's insane. Josh Wiley ain't no 6th-round pick. He's too good.
yeah. Have you looked at Aubrey Miller at all?
No, no, Aubrey, I have not. Although, you know who has taken a look at Aubrey Miller? That would be Deion Sanders, former coach
I
of Jackson State.
I
So
don't
I
I don't
I could call up Dion and hear what he's got to say out of Aubrey, but Dion, I don't want to bother Dion right now.
Oh, I still got my camera off. Oh. But man, I don't like the 17 missed tackles, but
Hmm.
I do like his speed. I believe if this is the guy that I've been eyeing. Or hold on, I'm trying to fix the camera on my end. There we go. All right, so let me blow this up a little bit more too. All right, there we go. Probably a little bit better. Coverage, yeah, I believe that's the first thing that stuck out to me was just his size and his speed, man. He's just a faster dude. It just feels like, and I know we have McCrary Ball. We also have Fouls. This is Aubrey Miller. But man, I do really, really like Wiley at the same time. I'm just trying to think. And then we also have Jake Andrews right here. First look, 305. Is there anybody that you have seen that? Oh, he's a little versatile though, huh? He went from right guard to center, basically. I don't like the pass blocking grade, especially with the injuries we've been going through. I'm gonna just go ahead. Hey, I think we're in a position to where it's like best player available. So I'm gonna kind of scroll down this list if there's anyone who
Yeah.
just pops out at you. I don't think we've drafted a corner. So maybe that's coming up a little bit later after this pick. Maybe that's a time.
Hmm.
A corner and wide receiver, I feel like are two positions we really haven't swooped up. I'm gonna just go ahead. If there's nobody that just really pops out at you,
No, no.
I think this might be a good time to pick up another linebacker.
Hey,
He might
you
even.
never have enough linebackers, you know,
Yep.
with the special teams that they provide. And, McCrary Ball was on the practice squad. So it's like you're looking to kind of replenish assets. So if McCrary Ball is up, well, that means there's a spot open on the practice squad for a linebacker. So makes sense.
Have you heard anything about I don't want to mess his name up, but Puka Naka? Is that what that is? That's a dope
It
name.
looks like yeah, Puka Nakua. I have not.
Nakua.
I haven't heard of Puka, but just off the name, based off name value, like it's a freaking great name.
Yeah, it is. Receiving grade. I'm looking here 48 receptions, 5 touchdowns, looking pretty consistent the past 2 years, especially his grade 6'2", 200. I'm thinking about the size that we got. That's kind of reminiscent. I wonder what his blocking is. Now that's kind of an underrated thing coming from a wide receiver. I wonder if it says anything about his blocking. It does
No,
not, huh?
not there, not there.
So
But yeah,
slot.
Kyle Shanahan he requires his receivers to be versatile and block. They
Yeah,
gotta block.
with his size, it looks like he would be able to. God, I still want to get Josh Wiley, but I just don't want to get two tight ends in this draft.
You
I'm
know
going to
what?
go ahead.
Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna talk. Take Josh Wiley, dude. Take Josh Wiley. Let me
We're
tell you
taking
why.
Josh freaking Wiley.
What has Ross Dwelly done? What has Ross Dwelly done? What has Charlie Warner done? Like,
Hey,
bro,
well,
both of these dudes could be, and I think they will be better than what Warner and what Dwelly has provided. And then now, let me tell you what, Kelts. Now you bring in two rookie tight ends. Guess what? Those two are now battling it out for who's going to be that tight end too. So
absolutely.
I actually, well, someone could say, "Well, you already took a tight
I'm
end. You got George Kittle." It's like at this
I'm
point in
not
the
mad
draft,
at it.
you're acquiring talented players, and both of us really like Josh Wiley. So it's like, just go get him.
Hey, and let's just put let's just keep it even more real. It's looking like the 49ers, like Brock Purdy is the direction they're going in. If health is okay, if everything is the way they want it, Brock Purdy's the guy. And we seen what he did with George Kittle. What if George Kittle has an injury and he's out for 5 or 6 or 7 weeks? You know, yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm not mad at it. I've done hella mock drafts and I have not picked two tight ends, but I couldn't be mad at that. Kuntz and Wiley, both what, 5 letters in each name. I don't know if that means anything, but it sounds freaking good to me. I know I get, I agree with you. I agree with you, baller. Real talk. Hey, but we're up on a tackle. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
heard this name before, but I've seen this name several times.
Mhm.
I'm looking at some of his grades. Pass block grade. I think he could get better at the run block. I don't know how you feel about it. I'm going to look at his size. Hey, he's a huge dude. What if he's a huge dude that can elevate? That's one thing that I don't think we do have. And you do typically want your tackles to be larger freaking humans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, longer wingspan, like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
If he can
that
move
matters.
around, maybe. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take these guys we picked and I'm going to start studying them up. And I'm going to do that with other mock drafts. I could even share some of my mock drafts that I've done in the past with you and really dive into this thing. But I'm going to take our tackle here just because we
Yeah.
haven't taken one. I believe we have 2 more picks
Right.
left.
I got a name I want to search up. I got a name I want to see if he's available. So we got to
Okay.
search this by name because he's a speed rusher. All right.
Speed rusher.
Yeah, Nick Hampton.
All right. I wonder. Okay. I just come up here. Nick Hampton, right?
Yes.
Nick. Where is it? Hampton.
No.
Okay.
What if
Here,
that
let's
might
see
not
if
be
it.
searching our available players. Why don't we
Yeah.
filter? He's a D end or he's an edge. He's an
Is
edge.
it
So let's
all
just
right?
see. He should pop up here. Yeah, we might.
We might be able to get him as an undrafted
Oh, search all players right there. Search all players.
all players.
So right now at the top, scroll up a little bit. Search all players. That see the just to the right, a little bit to the right. It
Oh,
has the
okay. Cool.
magnifying glass.
Okay.
Hampton. I want to see if Hampton's there. No, I don't think he is. Okay, my bad. He's
It's
gone.
all good.
He's
Hey, it's
gone.
all good. Someone swooped him.
But he's a
Maybe.
speed rusher out of Appalachian State, small school guy who I kind of like. Now,
Nick Hampton. I'm gonna check him out. Hey, is there any one of these guys that stick out to you? I
Dante
believe.
Stills. Boom. Dante
Yeah,
Stills.
I've heard a
Yeah,
lot about him too. I'm
I like this
surprised.
guy. I like
Yeah,
this guy.
I've heard a lot about Stills
Yeah, that
from
that
from
let
from
me
numerous
yeah,
people.
let me
So
let me pull up my notes on Dante Stills. He's a guy who could play D tackle or D end. He's kind of that hybrid role that we know the 49ers like to use. But Dante Stills, this dude had a ton of tackles for loss. I wrote he's a big end who can also play some tackle. He's strong. He's got heavy hands. When he hits you, you
I like
feel it.
that.
Okay. And I
Defense
wrote down
great.
he's an Omenahu replacement. That's what I
Okay.
wrote down.
I like
So,
it, man. I like the
yeah,
name.
Dante, when you're scrolling through that names, Dante Stills is the guy who jumped out at me.
All right, man. So we're gonna come into agreement, and this is gonna be the Brock Purdy effect. This is the Brock Purdy effect. I almost feel like it should be a ritual. And we're gonna check out the quarterbacks, man, with this last 255 pick. Oh, bless me.
I don't mind
Hey,
it. I don't mind it, but I'm gonna put one more thought in your ear.
all
I'm gonna put
right.
one more thought in your ear.
Hey,
Are
this is what
you
teams do. This is what teams do,
absolutely,
man. You got to come
absolutely?
together.
You know, we know the 49ers made a trade. They acquired a kicker, Zane Gonzalez from the Panthers. But the
Mhm.
way Lynch was talking today, I'm not sure that they're willing to just hand him the job. Like it didn't sound like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought in an undrafted guy or if they took someone, and I hope it's at the end of the draft like we're doing here in the 7th round. Because the Mitchell Wishnowsky pick still doesn't really sit well with me to this day. I mean, he's a solid punter, but
I hear
Uh,
everybody talking about Jake Moody. That's just the
yeah,
name. That everybody's like
yeah.
Jake Moody, Jake Moody,
That
Jake
would be
Moody.
if and if you're that'd probably go ahead.
It's like, why not? I mean, hey, Jake Moody is there. I mean, we could go mess around and take Dorian Thompson Robinson, but with the direction of how the 49ers look like they're going in, it looks like they're beyond set. And so, someone like a Jake Moody could be better than a Zane Gonzalez, and he could be making
Hey,
huge kicks for us. He
yep.
could be making impact kicks for us next year. So we're gonna do it.
You have a little kicker competition. Ain't nothing
Let's
wrong
go.
with a little kicker competition. Okay, you
Hey,
bring them
bro.
in training camp. You have them battle it out preseason. Who's nailing your kicks? And you got the veteran, and then you got. Oh, they didn't like my Kobe Turner pick. Oh, they're hating on my picks, Celts. I'm kind of butthurt right now. I ain't
Same
even gonna lie.
here. Hey,
PFF, you don't know
oh,
what you're
hey,
talking about.
hey. Well, hey, I don't care about what the grade is. Like B minus. Like, hey,
Hey, they like.
some of
Damn.
my best drafts that I
Hey,
thought
they
I
liked
did.
our Josh Wiley pick though. They like that Josh
Oh
Wiley
yeah,
pick.
yeah, they did. Hey, I just want to take a look at the positions and just take a look at it overall. I just love Keaton Mitchell. I hope we do get him. I think we might even be able to get him a little bit further. But we got. I'm looking at the trenches. We got one, two. We got three defensive trench guys. We did get the guard and the tackle, so we did get the two on the offensive line. So I like those five trench picks. We got the safety and Skinner. We got the two tight ends. We got the blazing Keaton Mitchell, who takes people's lives. Y'all seen what they said. We got Aubrey Miller. He got some speed. We got Dante Stills. We got the kicker. Hey, I'm kind of liking this draft, even though we hit up the two tight ends. We got the Kuntz and the Wiley.
That might be my favorite thing about this draft is I love those tight ends.
Yeah,
That
man.
that's something
I'm
that
really kind of.
that tight
I
end room, if they did something like that, would be totally transcended. And it
I
would go
was
from, being top heavy with Kittle and then this massive drop off to being legitimately that would be the best tight end room in the NFL. I'm
I was
telling
a
you.
I was a little skeptical of this draft as we were doing it, but now looking at just sitting back and looking at these names and looking at these guys, and I'm familiar with most of them. I really freaking like this draft. Like, yeah, that was a little different. That was pretty fun. I'm gonna download the image. I could shoot it to you later. And then I like to look back. It's going to be fun to look back and be like, did we get a couple of these guys? How far off were we with the thinking, with how they think and stuff like that? So, hey, man, that was fun. We've been going for a while. Unless you want to fly through another turbo draft with, depending on your time, man.
You know what? I got to study some more of these prospects because I feel like I enjoy it more when I know them.
Yeah,
So that's something
exactly.
I've been doing the last couple weeks is diving through the prospect list. So when we do this again, well, we'll have to run through one when we get the whole gang back together, so we can hear Jay, we can hear Amin, because I know there'll be a few guys that those guys like, a few prospects. So I'm gonna keep hitting the film. I'm almost done with the edge position, and then so Celts. If I told you I watched the defensive tackles, I watched the tight ends, and I watched the defensive ends with the D line. What position do you think, like looking at the 49ers needs? I mean, tackle, it's probably tackle, but sometimes watching O line isn't the sexiest position to watch. So let's put O line aside. What
Okay.
what do you think is the next need? So besides tight end, D line, and O line,
Probably I'm looking at the safeties, man. I'm
safety.
kind of
Yeah,
I'm kind of
yeah.
but that's just me shooting from the hip.
No, I
Like,
agree with you. I agree with you. I was thinking safety even before you said it. So I'm gonna dive in on some safety film because they're gonna take a safety in this draft.
yeah, I'm pretty sure safety. I'm kind of just looking like I feel more comfortable with the depth of like, all right, because I look over here. I'm looking over here at McGill. I'm looking at Kalia Davis. Those are guys after Givens and Kinlaw and Drake, and even the linebackers. Behind Greenlaw and Warner. We got Burks, we got Flanagan Fowles, we got McCrary Ball, Curtis Robinson. And I'm not saying I'm upset. You just look at the depth of the safeties. You got Tyler Hawkins behind Talanoa Hufanga. You got George Odom behind Tayshawn Gibson, and nobody else after that. In the slot, or I mean, right side cornerback, you got Womack and Knight, and then you also have Oliver. Or wait, hold on, where am I at? Yeah, you have Oliver and you got Parker. I'm saying, who is Parker? We just swooped him up, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Okay, so it looks like cornerback. It's just like I think we need more depth, and we might need more pieces. You just never know what you could get in the draft with cornerback, but I feel like mainly safety. That's just the way I'm seeing it, and I think that's why someone like Krug was so big on getting like a Gardner Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Just getting
Mhm.
that next guy. But then, like you said, we need that tackle. We need that tight end. I'm looking on the offensive line. I just feel like maybe not a need, but like I said, one big thing we don't have is that blazing speed at running back. So, yeah, man, those are the positions. The safeties, um,
Safety. Yeah.
safety, tight end,
So I'm gonna
tackle.
hit. I'm gonna watch some film on some of these prospects, and we'll get another mock draft going next week and see how it goes.
And I think I might just actually do some studying on some positions that you haven't too much. I might start looking at some receivers. I might start looking at more interior offensive line, just get a little bit more of a feel for some of those guys. And yeah, man, we'll come back, do it again. We see Roberto up in the comments, seeing if we got any questions. I don't see a whole lot of questions. We got Roberto saying, "Thank you, gentlemen. Great content."
Thank you,
We got
Roberto.
Real talk, real talk. We got Darren in the house. Said, "Is this really straight out of the Bay? Mac Dre going number one." Hey, it's straight
You
out of the
know,
Bay,
the
man.
only person I'm putting in contention is maybe 40. I might take 40 over Mac, but they're up there, both of them.
Yeah, man. It's sad that we didn't continue to see what Mac would have came
You're
out with,
right. You're right.
but
You're right. That's
But
true.
but 40 has always been there, Vallejo native, like myself, because we are straight up out of the Bay. Nah, but good stuff for coming through, Darren Ty. I don't know if I've ever seen you before. Maybe you come from Bay Area's channel, but good stuff for coming through. Hopefully all is well to everybody. We got I don't want to mess your name up, Riddy. That might be
Thanks
one
for
of your
coming by, Riddy.
Yeah, we got Riddy in the house. Good stuff for coming through. We got 49ers Josh, faithful forever, bleed red and gold. Good to catch you live, good sir. You as well. From me and Eric. We got Val Ramos saying Coons. I can already hear the calls if we swoop them up.
That's facts.
Coons.
Cool. Absolutely.
Coons.
Make it
Uh,
happen.
we got No Border Sports. The Young Montana came through. Trey will start week one. That was another one of the first guys I watched tape on through this whole year was Jaron Hall from BYU, the quarterback. Uh, but once I dug deeper onto him, it just felt like he needed a lot more polish, and I was like we got a quarterback that needs that already. But I did like some of the tape that was good on him. I think this is gonna be the end of it, man. We've been going for I could do this draft stuff all freaking day long, man. I love the draft. We got to do it again. Good stuff for everybody that stopped by, came through and chopped it up with us. Hey, we'll see you guys next time. Stay up, stay blessed, stay faithful. And if you got any final thoughts, my man Bay Area, hit it up.
Hey, Kelts, thanks for having me on. Love talking ball. Love the straight out of the base shows on Monday. Hey, it's a fun time of the year. It's the off season, but the action's rolling in. Shanahan's going to speak tomorrow. There's going to be more news and more thought provoking content coming out here soon. The draft's around the corner. There's still free agent signings to be made. So NFL offseason is action packed. I'm covering a lot of it on my channel, putting out some Javon Hargrave highlights. So whoever they sign, you might see some film popping out on my channel. So check it out. Bay Area Baller 18. That's one word. But hey, Celts, thanks for having me on. John Lynch, I hope you watch that mock draft because you can learn a thing or two. And I had a blast. Can't wait to talk to you soon.
Well said, well said. Hey, I do want to let everybody know, hey, if you go into the description, this is only one half of Straight Out of the Bay. There is also my man Justin, Jay in the Bay, and then we also have Amin the Dream. So check those guys out. The link is in the description of their channels, along with mine and Bay Area Ballers. So hey, y'all, hey, like I said last time, y'all stay up, y'all stay blessed, y'all stay faithful. We're up out of here. Yee! Faithful, rise up. Yee! We getting it, boy.
What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay.
Your baller back again. Smells like football season.
Yo.